This is Sean for TightPoker.com, and this video we're going to review hands that I played at when I was playing 50 No Limit Full Ring on PokerStars back in the day. You'll see that these hands are actually from about November of last year, so it's good in the fact that we get to see kind of some good 50 No Limit Full Ring play and maybe a little bit of bad. This is, I think, the second 50 No Limit Full Ring video I've done. And obviously my game's progressed beyond this, but at the same time it's always good to review some good things you did in the past and some bad things. It will kind of look like sometimes when you do this it's just a completely different person. The game is always changing and you're always changing, so that's why reviewing the past and looking forward to the history when it comes to poker and theory is of paramount importance. So let's get started. Here's a very straightforward hand. We've got aces here in the small blind. And so I see a lot of mistakes here where people just limp in, and you're just never doing that. You need to bet aces for value every time. So I make a good size raise to $2. Again, the blinds here are 25 cents, 50 cents. I'm not sure why they disappeared, but Hold'em Manager has always had that little bug in the replayer, so we won't worry about it for now. And so we get min raised. The general rule with getting min raised in the blinds is that it's always aces. The problem is we have aces, so it's kind of weird that he's doing this. In terms of we look at the player and the stats, I actually have in my HUD, and this might be something you want to do, is how often they 3-bet on the big blind against a steal. It's a really, really specific stat, but it's a very specific stat that you're going to need all the time. And we see that this person's at 40%. So again, this guy, he's doing this with his entire range. Normally with a nitty player like this, or usually any player, we see a weird min raise out of the blinds and it's a big hand, but not this time. So I min raise him back. And maybe it's because he folds to 3-bets 100% of the time and I was just kind of playing some mind games with this guy. But normally you just want to bump it up. And he just flat called. So Queen, Jack 3, we definitely have to bet here. You're never slow playing in this situation, especially out of position. And I like a nice big bet here, and that's what I do. Okay, good thing. And this guy raises, and at this point we're just getting it in. And that's just the right move, because whatever he's raising here with, again, it's another weird min almost. So, I mean, I almost expect him to have kings here. It's just the only explanation, or maybe queens, but it's just so weird. His line's so weird. He keeps min raising us, which, I mean, I have seen someone do profitably. There's like one guy who does it at 204 no limit, but him aside, for the rest of the million poker players online, it's just a really weird thing to do. So he goes ahead and calls, and he shows jacks for the set. So it's just unfortunate, but he ends up hitting quads. So it's definitely a way to make a note there that he's min raising us, but he's raising so often out of the big blind that it's just one of those hands, and it's a bit of a bad beat. And of course, you're getting this in a lot of the time. It's really hard to fold that because you can put him on kings here. You could also put him on queens, maybe jacks, but certainly not like jack queen or even tens. I mean, maybe ace king. So anyway, just one of those weird hands. Alright, here we are for our next hand. Ace queen in the big blind. And absolute nit, an 11-8, makes a raise in mid position 1. So it's early on, and this guy really is, this is never a marginal hand here. We got to look at here, and we see early position. I'm looking at the hem stat. Pre-flop raise is 8%. So he's very consistent, but still we're putting on a good range of hands. I mean, like pocket pairs, 9s and higher, I suppose, and suited broadways and et cetera, et cetera. So it gets folded. You might call me crazy, but there's a merit to just not flatting and either folding, because you're playing this out of position, ace queen. I mean, it's a good hand, but against this guy in this position, But I might even like a 3-bet because, and only because, this guy folds 3-bet 75% of the time. So if you know a guy loves to fold to 3-bets, you should be 3-betting him all the time, especially in this situation where post-flop it's going to get really, it's going to get messy. especially if you miss. And putting in a 3-bet kind of gives you control of the hand again, at least, if he flats you behind. So I go ahead and flat, which, I think a lot of people would have done. I don't think it's out of the question, but some experience, it's just like, gee, do I really want to play ace-queen against a nit out of position, or, am I just better off 3-betting and really just finding out where I am with the hand? Because certainly if he 4-bets, which he's never doing, I can go ahead and fold. And if he flats behind, I could c-bet with some confidence that I'm getting it in pretty good. So the flop comes amazing, ace-10, ace, and we're basically only trailing aces. Well, he doesn't have aces, ace-king, and tens. So given that fact, we're ahead a lot of the time. And we go ahead and check, and that's fine. You don't want to donk bet this. And he goes ahead and c-bets a good amount. And I don't mind a flat behind here just because if we re-raise it... I like a raise here if we didn't have an ace. How's that? Because it's a great bluff. How could he possibly put you on anything else? You flatted, so it kind of like, ace type of hands, flat there. And then 2 aces flop, and you check raise. It's just a spectacular bluff that I would do 100% of the time. But given the fact that you do have an ace, you want to get value. So maybe string the guy along. So flat, that's fine. So the 9 comes, and now the board's connecting. You've got 9, 10, and ace 10. So there's gut shots out there, and maybe even it's a wild possibility, but maybe he's got something like queen jack, and he's open-ended. There's 2 to a flush. So we're not still playing this anymore. You might want to go for a big check raise here, or just donk out, which is fine. So he goes ahead and bets 7. This is definitely time to do the big check raise, maybe for more than full pot, like $20, 21, or even 25. But I go ahead and flat here, and I think that was a big mistake. Even though, we might be behind. He still might have that ace-king. He still might have pocket tens. Although it's remote, that's why I really like the raise there. The jack falls, which is just not too great a card. The flush didn't fill, but some weird straights did, which we're not putting him on at this point. So, what could he possibly have? Now jacks are ahead of us, if he had jack-jack and was continuing. So we check again, and he goes ahead and half pots it. This is really hard to say, go ahead and flat this, right? But there's some merit to just flatting here, but I don't have a problem with just getting it in against this guy, but it'd be one of those situations where, I'll get it in, but against this nit, chances are with this board, I might be getting it in bad. So he goes, I go ahead and get it in. That's me, haha. And he calls, and he shows us, wow, the boat. He flopped the boat. So a bit of a cooler. He flopped tens over aces, and we flopped tripped aces. Kind of a disaster in the making, especially on the turn type of thing, if I had done what I suggested. But, it's just one of those things. All right, now we're actually in position here on the cutoff, and we've got some kings. So we've got early raiser of 45-18, and a guy calls behind who's a 31-13. So we expect weird ace scratch kind of hands, or Broadway weird cards like Jack 9 or King 9, Ace 6. They're all in the range of someone who plays like 40% of their hands. Like weird aces and weird kings. That's just, if you put it into Poker Stove, you'll see just how that works. So moving forward, so we get a squeeze by a 16-11 who 3-bets 3% of the time. We're not thrilled with that because clearly he might be playing aces. But, you can't always be like, well, he never 3-bets. He must have aces. Because if he was 1%, I would think that. But 3%, he's doing this with ace-king, aces, kings, and queens even. But nothing less, really, in that spot. Not that early, not there. So, given that situation, go ahead and make a raise. That's fine, and that's a good amount. So the early guy calls. That's weird. That guy